In a sheltered grove, a mother named JAZZY awakens, her infant curled close against her chest. Beside her rests her sister, Yona. Together they descend to the forest floor where the morning's mission begins, the delicate search for sustenance. Tiny hands sift through the leaf litter, a quiet daily ritual of survival and care. With her sister as a watchful aunt, JAZZY carries her young one on a journey through their verdant world. Their destination is not just a location, but a companion, a close friend named Saxon. In the complex tapestry of troop life, such bonds are the threads that offer comfort and alliance. They arrive to find a small subgroup already gathered a casual social assembly. But JAZZY is a mother with purpose. Her rest here is brief, a mere pause. With a gentle shift, she moves on, and her friend Saxon, ever attentive, falls into step behind her. The troop's dynamic is a fluid dance of proximity and distance. The bond between JAZZY and Saxon is one of deep familiarity and trust. They are more than friends. They are confidants in motherhood. They share in the nurturing of their young, their affection evident in gentle touches and shared vigilance. It is a partnership forged in the quiet understanding of collective care. Though the smaller group invites lingering, JAZZY's path leads elsewhere. She departs, leaving Saxon momentarily amidst the playful cluster. A mother's itinerary is dictated by more than hunger or curiosity. It is guided by an instinct to constantly optimize safety and nourishment for her vulnerable young. The forest provides JAZZY's persistence, is rewarded with a precious find, a cluster of wild bananas. She settles, her sister Yona beside her, and the infant between them. Here, in this green sanctuary, the three partake in a meal, a simple, profound moment of nourishment and family. Curiosity is the first teacher. As JAZZY eats, Her little one reaches out, tiny fingers exploring the new texture and taste. With maternal patience, Jazzy allows this exploration, sharing her food. It is the first lesson in independence, given under the umbrella of absolute security. Saxon rejoins them, the fellowship restored. Seeking the safety of height, they ascend into the dappled light of the canopy. Here, perched among the branches, the two mothers nurse their infants, a picture of simian serenity high above the forest floor. Yona, the ever-attentive aunt, begins to groom Saxon with deliberate care. Her movements are slow, methodical. But this gentle service holds a secret hope, a chance to steal a tender moment, a brief kiss with Saxon's own infant. It is an innocent ruse, a small plea for closeness. peace is softly broken by another awakening. Lonnie, an older female, stirs from her rest nearby. Jonab, perhaps sensing a shift in the social breeze, withdraws. Her departure is not one of panic, but of prudent distance, a subtle recalibration of personal space common in the troop's delicate hierarchy. Lonnie, now awake, is welcomed not with fanfare, but with the fundamental currency of primate bond: grooming. Saxon tends to Lonnie's fur, and Jazzy remains present. This silent ritual is their social language, speaking of acceptance and peaceful coexistence. But the needs of the body are constant. Saxon must venture forth once more to forage, leaving Jazzy alone with Lonnie. The dynamic shifts. The comfortable alliance of two mothers is reduced to a dyad with a different history. Seizing the moment of Saxon's absence, Lonnie makes her move. With a careful reach, she attempts to draw Jazzy's sleeping infant toward herself. But a mother's instinct is a powerful force. Jazzy gently, yet firmly, pulls her child back, tucking the little one securely against her breast. The request, for now, is gently but definitively declined. Upon Saxon's return, Jazzy's relief is palpable. She moves swiftly to her friend's side, reinstating their protective alliance. Lonnie, undeterred, follows a silent, hopeful shadow. The troop's geometry rearranges itself once more. The two mothers now share a unified vigilance. They clutch their infants tightly, their bodies forming living shields. Their caution is not born of malice, but of primal protectiveness. Lonnie's longing is clear, but to a mother, every approach from outside the innermost circle is first assessed as a potential threat. Perhaps disheartened or simply weary, Lonnie's efforts subside. She settles behind them, and drowsiness reclaims her. She sleeps, a solitary figure whose quiet yearning is momentarily paused by the quiet necessity of rest. But the desire runs deep, even in the haze of sleep, it surfaces. Lonnie's hand reaches out, her fingers brushing the tiny tail of Jazzy's infant. It is a testing, hopeful gesture. Jazzy's response is immediate and decisive. She shifts her body, putting precious inches between her child and Lonnie, her embrace tightening. The message is clear, yet wordless. Rejected Lonnie retreats, not just in gesture, but in space. She moves to the far side of the broad tree limb, putting physical distance between her desire and its object. It is a quiet resignation, a solitary concession to the social rules she cannot bend. And so Lonnie sits alone. Her quest to interact, to hold, to nurture, has led her not to connection, but to isolation, a poignant reminder that within the social fabric, not all threads intertwine as they wish. To understand Lonnie, one must look beyond the single moment. She is an elder of the troop, her own reproductive years likely behind her. Her interest in the infants is not aberrant, but a natural expression of a nurturing instinct with no outlet of her own. She seeks not to harm, but to participate in the cycle of care, to experience the warmth of a dependent young one, if only for a moment. Meanwhile, the core family unit is secure. Jazzy and Saxon sit in comfortable silence, the bond between them a quiet fortress. And then Jazzy's infant awakens, tiny eyes blinking open to the world of dappled light and familiar faces. The movement, the tiny sounds do not go unnoticed. Lonnie, ever watchful, is drawn back across the branch. Hope, it seems, is a resilient vine. She returns to sit near Jazzy, her presence once again a quiet question. Scene 23. The mother's senses sharpen. Their postures become subtly rigid, their eyes tracking Lonnie without direct confrontation. It is a masterclass in passive defense. They create a circle of safety around their young, a barrier not of aggression, but of unwavering attention. Lonnie adopts a new strategy: stillness. She settles behind Jazzy, closing her eyes, feigning deep sleep. It is a patient gambit. In the primate world, patience is often a key to opportunity. She waits, hoping the mother's vigilance will wane, that a moment of distraction will provide the opening she seeks. As the infant plays innocently against its mother, Lonnie's arm darts out from behind. Her goal is the little one. But Jazzy is a sentinel who never truly rests. In a fluid motion, she blocks the attempt, sweeping her child back into the fortress of her arms. The gambit fails. The boundary holds. This second refusal seems to settle upon Lonnie like a weight. She returns to her solitary spot, a figure of palpable longing. Remarkably, her quiet sorrow does not go unnoticed. A younger troop member, perhaps sensing her dejection, approaches and begins to groom her. It is a small kindness, an offer of social comfort that acknowledges her place even in her loneliness. Witnessing this, perhaps understanding the profound social need driving Lonnie's actions, Jazzy and Saxon make a graceful move. They approach not as defenders, but as companions. They join in grooming Lonnie, their touch now one of soothing reassurance rather than rigid defense. It is an act of empathy, an acknowledgement of her plight within the safety of their terms. Emboldened by this moment of connection, Lonnie later positions herself directly before Jazzy. And then the unforeseen happens. In a sleepy, unguarded moment, Jazzy's infant, perhaps confusing Lonnie for its aunt or mother, reaches out and clings to her. It is the opening Lonnie has waited for. In a heartbeat, she enfolds the little one, turning slightly away as if to cherish this fleeting borrowed treasure. A mother's alarm is instant. Jazzy closes the distance, sitting directly behind her now held child. She leans in, not to snatch, but to gently rub and nuzzle her infant, maintaining physical contact. Her touch says, "I am here, you are safe." It is a re-establishment of the primal tether, a calm but firm reclamation of her role. Jazzy's attempts to retrieve her child are met with gentle resistance. Lonnie, holding her prize, shifts away along the branch. Jazzy follows, a persistent, quiet shadow. This is not a fight, but a negotiation, a persistent maternal claim meeting a deep, longing possession. But the strongest voice in this negotiation is the smallest one. The infant, realizing its mistake, becomes distressed. It calls out, reaching desperately for the familiar scent and feel of its mother. This sound, this plea, is the ultimate decider. Finally, Lonnie relents. The infant scrambles back into Jazzy's waiting arms, burying itself in her fur. The reunion is complete, a silent testament to the inviolable bond of mother and child. With the natural order restored, the social tension dissipates. Lonnie finds solace not in an infant, but in the steady companionship of her friend Saxon, who sits faithfully beside her. Jazzy, her child secure, relaxes into the late afternoon calm. The troop settles as the sun begins its descent. The forest has witnessed no great battle, only the quiet, persistent flow of instinct, the instinct to protect, and the instinct to connect. And in the delicate balance between them, the whole complex, beautiful story of troop life continues. And the instinct to connect. And in the delicate balance between them, the whole complex, beautiful story of troop life continues.